What's up? We got Jojo's Part 3. Yeah, Stardust Crusader, Episode 1. The man possessed by an evil spirit. Yeah, tonight we are starting Part 3 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Stardust Crusaders. Yesterday, we ended Part 2 of Jojo with the review of Battle Tennessee, and I gotta say, I really like. Battle Tennessee is one of my favorite seasons, even though I can agree that Smokey Brown isn't one of my favorite characters. He just could have been done more. Like, he was set up to be like Jojo's main partner, but then Caesar took over his role, and then Smokey came back to remind us that he was a character. It just felt a little weird that's what they did with Smokey. He was a character, he was gone, and then he was only back to remind us that he's a character. But now we are on to Stardust Crusaders. Bam, wham, 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 wham. Ba-bam, wham, 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 wham. So let's get on with the review. So this episode starts off in 1983, where we see a ship picking up a coffin, like in the last part, but this time we see them scratch up the crust on the ship to reveal the name under it, Dio. So after that, we see a shot of the cruise ship with the crate opened. So you know what that means. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till later so then we see that coffee's been made and food's been made, but no one's there to eat it. So then we cut to 1987, where we see Holly Cujo, the daughter of Joseph, Jotaro, and Susie Q, talking to some police officer about her son Jotaro, and a fact that he likes to be called Jojo based on his name Joe, and Cujo Joe. Jotaro, Cujo, Jojo. But I'm just gonna call him Jotaro. I made, like, in the last review for Stardust Crusader for Battle Tennessee, I did flip between Jotaro and Jojo at some point, and I might do this for Stardust Crusaders, but yeah. So she's like, how many people did Jojo kill? And he's like, Jojo didn't kill anyone. He just injured some people. So then she starts running, saying Jotaro, as flashbacks of Jotaro's childhood as a kid, as a teen, and as an adult, or played. And she can't even say his name, as Jotaro's like, stop, you annoying Actually, yeah, he does call her the B word, but he's gonna say, stop it, you're annoying. And then she's like, okay, and yeah. Or he's gonna say, you're annoying, be quiet. And she's like, okay. So then she tries to plead with the police officer that Jojo's a nice kid. Jojo said, I did it again, I told you I'd do it. Jojo's a nice kid, he didn't do anything wrong. And then he's in there, and they're like, hey, Jotaro, time for you to go. But Jotaro's like, I'm not going anywhere. I deserve to be in here. And he's like, I have a mysterious ghost arm. And she's like, and the cops are like, wait, what? You must be joking. But even the inmates there are telling them, hey, let him. He's right. He does have a mysterious ghost with him, an evil spirit with him, but the police officers are like, quiet in there, you inmates. So what happens is that she says, this must be something Joseph was doing. So she decides to call. So he even reads Show and Jump, with the police officer saying, oh, "That's Shonen Jump." So yeah, he even takes some cider. So yeah, he even tries to shoot himself in the head, and his character quite quickly. But then the ghost hand grabs it. So she saw it, I think. So she decides to call her dad, Joseph with Joestar, who's now a 60-year-old man, voiced by an actor who's kind of dead now, who died like years ago at 64. R.I.P. to Joseph's old Joseph's actor. He does a pretty good job so far. So he's like, "Holly, what are you doing?" He's like, "Holly, what are you doing here?" And she's like, and she's like, "It's about Jotaro. He might be in trouble." So he goes down to the prison, and Jotaro's like, "What are you doing here? I didn't call you here. Get out." And he's like, Jotaro, let's go home." And he's like, "No way, I didn't call you here. Leave." And he's like, I knew you'd say that, so that's why I brought my friend, Muhammad Avdal. I met him 3 years ago in Egypt, and he has a evil spirit as well, which he called Magician's Jotaro. Yeah, Magician's Red. So he and Jotaro and Avdol get into a fight with their stands. But Jotaro's like, "Yeah, the one thing, you're done." And so he's like, "Jotaro, get out of that cell." And he's like, "You want me to send him to the hospital?" And he's like, "Go." You want to get him in that cell and also might send him to the hospital? And he's like, "Go for it." So he goes for it, and he ends up getting, he's like, "You shouldn't have done that," and gets him out of the cell anyway. So he's like, "Yeah, I got you out of the cell." So meanwhile, at a restaurant, Holly's loving that Jotaro's at jail, and Jotaro's like, "Ugh, you're so annoying. Be quiet. You're so annoying. Be quiet." And then he's like, "Jotaro, don't talk to your mom that way." And Holly, "Why are you letting Jotaro speak to you that way?" And she's like, "Okay," because that's all she says. Okay. And he's like, "Grandpa, why'd you bring me here?" And he's like, "Grandpa," because Jotaro's a delinquent. And he's like, "Why'd you bring me here?" And he's like, "Because there's something I have to see. I have a stand too. I'm like the puppet." And breaks the camera. And Hermit Purple has the power to show spirit photos from far away. And he's like, "This guy is evil incarnate. His name is Dio. Dio. Yes, Dio is back now. He's back in the season." He says that like 50 or 100 years ago, Jonathan Joestar gave his life to stop Dio, but Dio and sealed Dio into a coffin. But that coffin was opened up by sailors, and Dio has now escaped. Oh no, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad news. This is bad news. Bad news, da. So anyway, so yeah. So he's like, "We need to stop Dio because it's in our bloodline to stop it." Do you know why? Have you ever noticed a star-shaped birthmark? You ever noticed a star-shaped birthmark on your back? And he's like, "Dio has it too because he stole the body of Jonathan Joestar." Yeah, Dio did what he said he'd do. He actually stole the body. He cut the head off of Jonathan and put his head on Jonathan's body. So now he's walking around in Jonathan's body. And Jotaro's like, "Yeah, right. Like, I really believe this." And he's like, "Avadon." He's like, "You really believe this, G-Chan?" And he's like, "G-Chan?" He's like, "Abdullah, do you really believe this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've been a stand user since birth, but you guys must be stand users because of Dio walking around, because of Jonathan Joestar's lineage. So yeah, so Jotaro's obviously not believing in this, and he's like, yeah. So they say, so they tracked, so they have no idea where, not even Avdol can track where Dio is staying. So they're like, me and Avdol are gonna stay in the Cujo residence until they stop Dio. So then we cut to Dio. Cool to see that again. We cut to Dio, and he's like, I feel this strange determined. I feel this strangeness. It must be the Jonathan's descendants. And that's where the episode ends, on a Dio cliffhanger. So, that was a really good first episode about Stardust Crusaders. Jotaro is a real delinquent. Joseph is cool. He was already cool before, but he's cool now. Avdol is a new character. Holly is, for some reason, the only thing she says in the 2 episodes besides her lines are okay to what Jotaro says. Whenever Jotaro calls her the B word, she's just like, okay. Like, anyway, that's it for this video. And I'll see you next time when we review episode 2 of Stardust Crusaders. Hola, hola, hola.